Hi, my name is David Schwartz. I'm Director of Technology Alliances at Dataiku, a partner of Tableau. Welcome, thanks for coming. Today I'm going to be talking to you about visualizing the future. Dataiku and Tableau are partners, and there is a very good reason that we both work together so well, and that is that we both have the same sort of approach to data and analytics. We both realize that the problem with making analytics available to the enterprise is not a software problem. It's a problem that has to do with siloed data, siloed people, siloed processes, and that if you have the ability to put better analytics in the hands of more people to do analytics at speed, you can break down these obstacles to your being able to provide value to your enterprise. So let me tell you a little bit about Dataiku so you kind of know who we are. Okay, we were founded 2013, and we are a end-to-end data science platform. We work with a number of different companies, a number of different industries, and essentially what we did, what our founders attempted to do with the creation of Dataiku was to solve a particular problem. We call it the Tower of Babel effect. So oftentimes as you're doing data science in the organization, in the enterprise, you have different people that need to work together. You have business analysts, you have data scientists, you have data engineers, you also have management that needs to be involved in the process. You also need to have IT, DevOps involved in the process. And here's the trick. They all use different tools. They all have different skill sets. They all use different languages, Python, Java, Shell script, SQL. And they need to be able to cooperate. They need to be able to collaborate and communicate in order to be able to create value, because data science is, in the end of the day, an end-to-end process in the enterprise. It starts with being able to get at your data, wrangle your data, prepare it, turn it into something valuable, do modeling, testing of the modeling, and then get the powerful insights that you're able to find and get those into the hands of business makers, decision makers, and folks throughout the business who need that information. And so they sought to create a single platform that would allow all of those people to collaborate regardless of their skill level, of their level of expertise, the languages that they used, right? And the way that we did that is we created a tool that allowed you to collaborate across multiple different roles, regardless if you're a coder or a clicker, if you're somebody who likes to use Python, if you're somebody who likes to use R, or if you're somebody that doesn't know how to do any of those things, so that you could work across the process, you could collaborate with your folks across the enterprise to be involved in creating value. In essence, putting the data and analytics in the hands of more people to democratize the process of data science. So here we have an example of that platform, right? We have our four different roles. I don't have the IT folks on here. I shouldn't have left them off, because they're very important, that DevOps role. We have multiple different inputs of data, various different aspects of the data science pipeline, and then AI-enabled services. Okay, what do I mean by AI-enabled services? I mean that you have applications, recommendation engines, search engines, fraud detection, all of which need to leverage your insights, right? And certainly one of those channels, and we'll get to this in a minute, could be your BI and visualization capabilities, which is why we partner here, for example, with Tableau. So you can take the predictive values, the feature engineering that you discover in the data science process, and inject that into Tableau and allow your people to then be able to explore the process of data science that you've been going through. So end-to-end, what we mean by end-to-end is clean, wrangle, build applications, machine learning, AI capabilities, mining, visualization. And by visualization, I don't mean like Tableau, I mean like being able to profile your data and kind of get a sense of, is it normally distributed? Are there missing values? That kind of visualization. For industrial visualization, we rely on organizations like Tableau to partner with. And then perhaps most important, deploy to production, right? Because I don't care how great your models are, how predictive they are, how accurate they are, if you're not able to integrate them with the business fabric of your enterprise, if you're not able to put them in the hands of the people who actually need them, well, then you end up being like King Lear shouting at the wind. You've accomplished absolutely nothing. So you need to be able to find ways to deploy those analysis out to the enterprise. And then there's a feedback loop. You have to be able to monitor what it is that you've done and see, is it giving you the kind of results that you need? So that's ultimately what our goal is with this platform. So I could go into really a lot of detail on each of these pieces, the data access and processing. But I would encourage you, if this is something that resonates with you, we have a booth over there on the other side of the hall, and I can do a live demonstration. I'm going to show you some screenshots of our integration with Tableau in a moment. I can show it to you live over there, or if you just want to come over and get a t-shirt, that's fine too. But data access and processing. Now, there's a little clip up there of the interactive flow of Dataiku, so you can actually see how easy it would be, even if you had no idea how to write Python. You just drop the nodes on the palette there, and you can share it with your colleagues. So if you're somebody who doesn't know coding, you can start the process, hand it over to somebody who's better at coding, and they can maybe collaborate with you. Or maybe you're Python and you're R. Well, we don't want to discriminate. We want you both to be able to work together. Right? We have machine learning integrated into the platform, right? Now, your data scientists may be really good at what they do, and they may not need any help. You may never have created a segmentation model, but you need one. So we incorporated AutoML in the process, so that if you need help guiding you're being guided through the process of creating your first segmentation model, that's fine, we can help you with that. We actually have a screenshot there of the model being trained, and it will actually then recommend to you what the best model is. It'll try out a couple different things, it'll give you the best suggestion. You can actually go so far as to do some deep learning. You want to do some facial recognition, natural language processing, fairly sophisticated analysis in the hands of people who don't necessarily have the skills. Could have the skills. It's a usable tool for those people who have the skills, that's fine. But it's also usable by people who don't necessarily have the skills. And you can walk through, actually, for some of our less sophisticated business analysts, people, and I don't mean that in the coding sense, you're probably very sophisticated people, but could actually go through a tutorial and in an afternoon can create some fairly sophisticated deep learning models that do recommendations, facial recognition, any number of things. Yeah. And also, here's an important piece, right? If you're going to have a whole team working together, you need communication tools built right into the platform. GitHub integration right into the platform so that you can communicate with other people about how it is you got the answer that you got. That when somebody leaves the organization, they don't leave with all the organization and all the knowledge in their heads. It's all documented in the wiki. and you can share things that you're developing with each other. And then project deployment, right? A batch scoring job, an API end node, a web application, or Tableau. Some way of getting the knowledge that the insights that you're finding into the hands of the people who need it for making decisions, for building applications throughout the enterprise. It's a little bit of an architecture here of how we go through that sort of rapid development process. Any number of data sources here, they could be Redshift, Hadoop, could be S3, Blob Storage and Microsoft, BigQuery and Google, doesn't matter. You can get the data, you can go through the process of exploring it, you can use code nodes so that you can easily write in Hive or Python, or you could just click your way through it. No previous coding experience required. And then at the end, you push it all out into a reporting dashboard like Tableau. All right, so now I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about an actual demonstration that I put together to show how Dataiku and Tableau could work together to solve a very real business problem. Okay? But I thought it'd be interesting to answer the question that maybe is on your mind, and that is, why don't I just use Tableau? Why do I need these two things together? We can go through the details here. If you want to have a one-on-one conversation, I would absolutely encourage you to come by for that over at the booth. But I think the important thing to understand is that you can very easily start with an interactive flow that creates a very sophisticated predictive model, machine learning models, and then take the results. Here I dropped them into a Postgres database for a moment, but then I interjected them directly into hyperstorage. And then I could turn it over to my visualization team, who can then go to town and create some really great visualizations. Here's an example of some of the visualizations that I created for the demo that we're running over there at our booth. So it has benefits both for the data scientist and for the business analyst. And it helps the entire data team work together across their multiple roles. So these are some of the folks that we are currently working with Tableau, folks that use both Dataiku and Tableau together to get a lot of good value. One testimonial from one of those logos is that although they were able to get a lot of value out of Tableau when they used Tableau and Dataiku together, they were able to get value acceleration much faster. They were able to get to innovation much faster. So why do we do it? Tableau is an extremely powerful tool, there's no question. If we put data in the hands of talented business analysts, they are able to do some incredible visualizations. And it is important, just like when you're driving your car, to be able to see what's going on behind you, what's been going on around you. And if you're sophisticated enough, you can even use those tools to begin to plan where to go, what to do next, right? Because you can see, where do I have stockouts? Where do my customers live? What are they buying? But at the end of the day, it's all about data historically. It's all about things that have already happened. What we do is when we put Dataiku and Tableau together, we give you the ability to say, what's going to happen next? What should I do now? And that was when I created this next little use case, this little demo. That's what I had in mind. How can I use predictive information to help somebody figure out what is going to happen next? What kind of a decision should I make, not on what information I already have, but on what's going to happen in the future? How can I visualize that to make it possible for my business users to make good decisions based on the predictive values that I'm producing? So here's what I did. I got a whole bunch of data from online about rental properties in Paris. I could have chosen Berlin, but I chose Paris in this case. It would have not really made any difference. I could easily switch it over so that this data represented a different city. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take all of that information and see if I could help a potential property investor figure out, where should I buy? Where should I invest? What kind of a property should I have in the city of Paris if I want to maximize my income as somebody who's renting my property? This is an actual view of the Dataiku flow that I created. I started with a simple Python code node to grab the data from a publicly available website. Now, you don't need to start with Python. You could easily use a visual node to get the data from a database, which is normally where it would be, but in this particular case, it was easier just to write the code. Then I did some preparation on the data, so I took the raw data and I turned it into something a little bit more valuable. So that's an example of how I grabbed the data from the internet. And then I went through this process of taking that raw data and turning it into something that I could analyze. This is the raw data, and this is the data when I was finished with it. So you can see now I've gone from URLs to neighborhoods and various features. You can't see it a little. If I were to scroll over, you'd see the number of bathrooms, number of bedrooms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, all that information is pulled out into something that I can now use machine learning on to get some sort of information, some sort of insight out of it. That's a nifty SQL job that I wrote. Again, you don't know SQL, you can use a visual node to click your way through the SQL, that's fine. And then I created a model. In this case, I just did a linear regression. I just wanted to fit a line to the data to see if I could get some sort of indication of what the future prices might be. I could use AutoML here. Let's say I don't know anything about machine learning and I need somebody to help me walk through the process. I could just click a couple times and then have Dataiku suggest to me what the most appropriate model would be for the data that I'm using and the target that I'm trying to predict, in this case, rental price. And there we go, that's my model. My nifty line fit right through the scatter plot. And it gives me some statistics on how effective the model is. And then the magic. I split the various pieces of my analysis into 3 files. The predicted rental price, the features, and various other statistics about the rental prices, right? Injected them into hyper-storage, and then I jumped over to my Tableau server, and I created some visualizations and interactive maps to start with so that you could see neighborhood by neighborhood what the rental prices were going to likely be. And then I went a step further. I gotta go back. Let me go back one. If you scroll down, actually, come over to the booth and I will show you the full visualizations, but you can actually see I did the number of beds, the number of bathrooms, which features were the key drivers for the analysis. So if you're interested in investing in a property in Paris, and then you want to offer it up on one of those websites, I don't want to say which one because I don't have permission to say which one it was. You want to know which one would maximize your rental price? I could tell you which neighborhood you probably should buy in and invest in. I can tell you what kind of property to look for. Turns out it's bathrooms. More bathrooms, the higher your rental price can be. So the important thing is that this is just one use case, and it's just a made-up use case where what I wanted to do is take the ability of my supposed data science team and make that data available to my business analysts to be able to make actual business decisions. In this case, it's just the fictitious business decision of, should I invest in a property in this neighborhood or that neighborhood? Should I invest in a property that has 2 bathrooms or 3 bathrooms? 1 bedroom or 5? But you can imagine that the decisions might be more important than that. They could be, where am I likely to see sales? What products are likely to be selling online? If I have people buying this, what else are they likely to buy? If I can make those kinds of insights available to business analysts across the enterprise, then we have the ability for data science to collaborate as an enterprise to create real business value. So I'm going to end with that. Thank you for coming. And I encourage all of you to come by and visit me at the booth. I would be very happy to give you a more detailed overview of what I did. And like I said, my buddy back there, Yuri, tells me we have to get rid of the t-shirts, so please come get a t-shirt. And again, thank you. I appreciate your time.